Portland Trailblazers right now. They currently stand 19-29 on the year. Exceeding expectations, but still in a really, it's a tough
Still
spot,
not
man.
really good at all.
No. But they are closer to the 10 seed than they are the number one pick. And I think that upsets some Blazer
Yeah,
fans.
well, you got to stop talking about the number one pick. The team at the
Yeah.
very bottom has 6 wins. Dusty,
Yeah,
this
that's
is
really
their
bad.
second 16-game losing streak this
They're
season.
so bad. The Wizards are so bad.
Bro, they might do it.
Yeah.
They might break the record.
Oh,
They're that bad.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
It's like they might like reactivate some guys down the stretch just so they're not the team with the worst
Sure.
record in NBA history, because nobody wants that.
You'd be like,
You don't want that 9 wins.
No.
But
Stop that.
like
Stop it.
when they come through here, you're gonna be like, oh, sweet Jesus, what is this?
It ain't basketball.
I've tried to watch them probably 3 or 4 times because I really want to watch Carrington and Sarr and
Yeah.
Koulibaly, but I can't. It is as bad as that Orlando offense was last night. Washington's is worst. By the way, Orlando's half-court offense is almost as bad as Washington's. It's like a half a point better per 100.
You could tell.
Yeah, so if you thought that was bad, there actually is a level that gets worse.
Yeah. Okay, but here's where I think that it's like you nailed this so early in the waning years of Neil Olshey. You would always say, pick a damn path.
Mhm.
Pick a damn path and commit to it. Now, the Blazers picked the path of Dame gone. We are going to go hard rebuild.
Mhm.
And last year it was like, okay, you've got 2 years ago it was like Scoot Henderson. And we went, oh boy, this is not going well last year. Get Donovan Clingan, you're like, okay, Tumani Kamara in that trade for DeAndre, and you're like, all right, hey, some young pieces are looking good. But we know that the NBA is a star-driven league, stars win, and the Blazers do not have that guy. They are flush with role players right now.
Yes.
And that's why they're peeling off some wins, too. As it currently stands, the Blazers have a 7.5% chance to land the number one pick if the order stayed the way it is right now.
Yeah.
They are 4 games better than the Brooklyn Nets, right? And this is kind of where we were all envisioning this being, right? Like in the 4th, 5th worst record. The difference between the Blazers in the 7th slot right now and the Brooklyn Nets, which is our 5th, is a 3% chance of getting the number one overall pick.
Which
that's pretty significant.
It is and it isn't. And I'm not saying that's like down, like it's like, oh, the Blazers are fine. It is because the most you can get is 14%. Okay. So when you're talking about there's a cap of 14%, 3% is a lot. Like 3% is damn near 25% level increase of talking about what your capacity is.
For sure.
So, but the flip side is it's only 3%. And when you look at the number of combinations, it's like you won it, but and this is not me saying this. This is organizationally what they are projecting and what they are saying. We are not going to quote unquote sell our souls. It's not word for word. I'm paraphrasing to chase that.
Yeah.
At the risk of stopping what we have right now with these young guys.
And that was what Chauncey said in that young guys having that taste of winning. Like that's the slippery slope of tanking that Washington's in it right now. Detroit has been trying to claw their way out of it for several years now.
And they've finally
it's hard
started
to do. But I think this is where if you take away and you peel back the odds for the top 3, which is 10.5, 10.5, 10.6 for the top 3, right? That is where Brooklyn is. The Blazers are 7.5, 7.8, 8.1. That's significant. As you go back further, though, this is where you really get
you can't
duped.
fall. You can't fall further.
This is
it starts
right
getting
now,
pretty drastic.
The odds on, because of the way that the lottery is constructed, teams moving, teams getting pushed back, teams jumping. The Blazers have a 34% chance to get the 8th pick right now. And that is where the drastic difference is. Because if you look at it...
Let's run it one time. Just I'll run a quick tankathon.
Okay,
just
you're
to
doing
see
the
what
lottery
happens.
odds. Okay, who gets the first pick?
Portland fell back to 9th.
Fell back to 9th. That's not good, Bob.
Here's the insane thing. Atlanta moved up 10 spots. Golden State moved up 11 spots.
Mm-hmm.
And this is what can happen.
It is a lottery.
And that's kind of like you had two teams who had, in this scenario, the Atlanta Hawks, who just won the lottery last year, had a 2% chance.
Mm-hmm.
The Golden State Warriors, who were ended up number 2 in this lottery, had a 1.2% chance. You had a combined 3.2% chance, and both happened. And I'm not saying that as like a,
sure,
they're fine. I'm saying with the flattening of odds, stuff can get weird.
You won't use the Neil O'Shea word, but it's not the panacea.
Yeah, no, and it's not that, because let me be clear for everybody who is questioning where I'm standing. I think they should shut the water off.
Yeah,
I absolutely do.
Kind of doesn't feel like that's happening.
I strongly believe that they're going to shut down the veterans after the All-Star break. Now, this is where it gets a little dicey, and this is something as the Terry Rozier stuff traveled around the league, as far as the gambling probe being done federally. Yeah, as far as him being shut down. If you don't think the league is on high alert right now, you have another thing coming, and it might make it hard for any team to shut guys down without having a no BS injury. So it's those teams at the bottom.
Trade.
Well, not yes, but also like some of those, like the Charlottes of the world, the Brooklyns of the world. If they don't trade a Cam Johnson, or Charlotte tries to shut down LaMelo Ball and Miles Bridges, there might be some prying eyes of, nope, we have a federal probe going on right now.
Yeah,
they're playing.
Okay,
so that adds a little bit of pow to the pile, as it were.
It makes it really hard to get out of where they are now, though, right? And that's why it's like you need a star to win.
Yes, 100%. And
they do not have
a ton of luck.
They do not have one on their roster.
No.
And we just don't know where this is going to go for the remainder of the year. I understand the apprehension of this.
Mm-hmm.
The Blazers, though, it does not appear and it does not feel, when you hear what the players are saying, when you hear what Chauncey Billups is saying, when you watch the game and you see how well they are playing right now, this is not a team that is tanking. Full stop.
Just as an aside, I ran the lottery one more time after a reset. Charlotte went up to 1, Portland went to 2.
Okay.
Like, again, and this is just the math.
You never know.
You just don't. You hope and you pray. And I've talked to some people around the league who, there is some superstition of like ethical tanking.
Yeah.
And they're like, Washington can't get the first pick.
Hey, I'll tell you this right now. If the Blazers are playing hard because Adam Silver's rigging the lottery, I'm in.
Oh, yeah. No, 100%. 100%.
If they're like, hey,
send the white guy named Flag from Maine to the other Portland.
Yeah, we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna. If that fixes in, I'll frozen envelope it and say, good on Portland.
You know
but
what?
In this, we just don't.
It's been a long time since we've had anything fixed here, as far as
Well,
they had the coin toss go wrong for Hakeem, Odin over Durant. I feel like the Brandon's knees going.
Yeah,
I feel like they've paid their penance. Free, like put a magnet in some lottery balls.
Look, if conspiracy theories is all I have to hold on to, sign me up.
Tighten that tinfoil, baby.
I'm in.